Alamo beer is the best, I tell you what.
Yep. How's the whisker? All good?
See.
All lined up, good to go.
Oh, hell yeah. Today's video shoot is sponsored by Beard Box. They've always got some like stupid ass. NordVPN.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club. Let me tell you.
That's what I use. Dollar Shave Club.
I can feel it, and this man has been using that shave butter, which is absolutely not the truth, considering he's got a full beard here. So, guys, this is Tanner, longtime friend, first time caller. I've known this guy a couple of years now, and he is equally into the car craze as I am. Probably spends just as much time and money thinking about cars as I do.
Truly a curse, right?
Fortunately, he has less cars than I do, so he's not maintaining a rental fleet. But yeah, he's got some really cool cars. He has a C5 Z06 here, which hopefully will focus. It's also behind a pillar here. Anyways, we'll probably end up doing a video cruise with that or something at some point. So you'll see that on the channel. But even cooler than that, and way more unique and kind of fitting for this guy because he loves American cars and trucks, is his, well, go ahead and tell us because I don't know.
67 C10.
67 C10 in all its rat rod glory.
Oh, no, not rat rod.
Not rat rod.
No,
Oh, sorry.
no.
No. What do you call the style then?
Clapped out, I don't know.
Clapped out. You heard it from the guy.
Hopefully it'll be like the Pro Touring style once I'm all done with it or whatever, you know.
Pro Touring.
Yeah.
Sorry, not rat rod, but the patina.
Patina.
The patina.
Pro Touring C10.
Patina touring. Let's get a hashtag going here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Patining.
Patina Touring. Yeah.
Patinaing.
Patina Touring.
Okay, so 57.
67.
I know. I was testing you.
Tested me? I gotcha.
Doesn't have a barcode, doesn't have a lot of processing,
I know.
doesn't have a lot of ingredients you can't pronounce.
I know.
It's real food.
All right, 67 Chevy. Now, I don't know a lot about American cars or trucks, especially older ones. That's never been my scene. Obviously, everything I have is Asian. I would say Japanese, but Ice Bear, we see you, Chinese. So Tanner, why don't you tell us a little bit about the truck itself?
Okay, so the truck itself has actually been like in the family forever. My grandfather actually bought it in 1970, so it's been around like my whole life. I remember riding around it as a kid. My grandfather owned like a bunch of rental properties and things of that nature, so ride around with him and go cut grass to all those places and all that as a kid. He like daily drove it up until 96.
Holy crap.
Was the year. Yeah.
I didn't
he also
realize.
owned a mechanic shop, so you know he always kept it in good running order and all that stuff. And
That would be the man.
yeah, it was all like completely original. Like had the original hubcaps on it, the whole nine. Whenever I got it, and
Are those the original hubcaps?
it was actually the original hubcaps. From
It's really cool.
Yeah, so
Never
it was
realized that.
originally a 283 V8 with a 3-speed manual shift on the column.
I love hearing like when some of these old things were like 2 or 3 speed.
Yeah.
Just like blows my mind.
Absolutely, dude. And the standard shift. You ever drove anything with a standard shift on the
I have
column?
not, no.
Dude,
I didn't actually.
It's a trip, man. It's the same like pattern, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and just like yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing until probably a few years ago.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, whenever they would say what like a 3 on the tree, isn't it?
Yeah,
What they say?
exactly.
Yeah, so I thought that was just like, you know, you get in your grandma's Lumina and you select drive.
Drop her down and drive.
I thought that's what that was until recently.
No.
Stupid. Go ahead and leave a comment about how stupid I am.
But yeah, so this is kind of in like the second iteration or whatever you want to call it since I've had it. Originally, whenever I was, I don't know, 19, 20 is whenever he gave it to me. And I put a big block and a car 4-speed in it, a Muncie 4-speed out of like a 70s muscle car era. And then it needed a clutch, so what better way to replace the clutch than to swap in a modern driveline?
I mean, technically, you did change the clutch.
You know what sucks is it still doesn't even have a clutch in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just melts it both into the transmission.
You don't need a clutch,
There's
dude.
not a clutch in it right now.
No, you just melt the transmission.
Yeah. So I'm still working on that clutch install, that clutch replacement from a year ago.
From a year ago.
$10,000 later, whatever it was.
Yeah. Albeit, you know, with fancy everything now.
Yeah.
So
nowadays I'm working on installing. It's going to be an L86, which is.
let me go ahead and just put the camera over to it.
Flip it over there. Too.
Yeah, that way we don't have to just stare at us the whole time. As gorgeous as we are. So there we go.
This is a Gen 5 L86 6.2 liter. So it would have came out of like a 2018-ish Escalade or Denali, most likely. It's the same basic short block, from my understanding. Heads, bottom end, all of that as the either Camaro or Corvette LT1. Just the truck had a different intake and exhaust manifold. That was the main difference between the two. So
it's kind of your standard GM difference between their like sports car.
right, and then just the truck engines. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys ever watch like Roadkill or whatever, I think that's a pretty standard thing they'll do is just
absolutely.
Instead of buying the expensive motors, they'll go for the truck-based ones.
Truck engine. And these are actually a little bit closer to the car than say like your Gen 3 and 4 LS motors. This one's, because those are usually a different engine altogether. This one's like the same block, rods, pistons, whole deal. Cylinder heads even.
Oh wow, okay.
It was just the intake manifold and exhaust, which is pretty cool. It's full aluminum block, aluminum heads too.
Yeah, it's a good looking engine. I mean, you can see that it's very modern.
Yeah, absolutely.
And holy crap, are those cranks? That crank is huge, man. Yeah, the crank pulley is massive.
This is the wild stuff on it. The direct injection. Yeah.
Oh, it has.
See my smiley face? It says
insert dollar bills here.
But
I can feel things stuck in my couch.
so this is a Gen 5 motor, so it's direct injected as opposed to your LS motors. Port injected.
Don't mind that.
It's still falling apart.
Don't mind that. That's just a little thing. Don't worry about it.
The direct port injection.
Cool. So do these kind of suffer from that same, direct injection issues that like a Volkswagen might have with a lot of carbon buildup?
I think so. On the backside of the intake valves.
Yeah.
From my understanding, yeah.
So
we'll see what happens with all that. But this motor is like super low miles. I think it had like 10,000 miles.
I mean, guys, this thing is like brand new.
Yeah,
like,
it's gotten dirtier sitting in my garage than it was whenever I picked it up.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there's like not a sign of wear anywhere. No, it doesn't look like that VQ35 sitting out there, which is, I think that's actually what you meant to get.
Yeah,
that guy out
you
there.
VQ swap it, dude.
That is what you want. You don't want whatever junk this is.
You went that route with the CD09 as opposed to the L2 T56.
CD09 is good. I can say that. I have that, but the VQ35 is it's not the truck magazine motor of choice, let's say. Although that would be fun to see one of these things just shooting around here like Chewbacca, hitting the Kessel run in less than 10 parsecs or whatever, 12. I don't know. I'm a nerd. Yeah, so this thing is really cool, man. And, even worse than the habitual drug abuse is actually the car abuse.
So back in the carburetor days, you have to fill up your float holes whenever you let it sit for forever.
That's awesome. Well, you won't be needing that for much longer. Carburetors.
We're going, we don't need.
Carburetors. So let's move in here and see what's going on. I can see
pull the tunnel back off so you can see the new trans. It's the American Powertrain T56 Magnum, the close ratio version they offer. So should be a whole lot of fun to roll up down the highway. Because the 4-speed I had it before, was just 4-speed, no overdrive. So driving up and down the highway was not any fun, man.
Yeah, I can't imagine that those were a lot of blasts to roll through.
So my favorite.
And it's a manual.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool.
I guess in here so far, of course I had to cut out the tunnel. These trucks is cool though. So the 4-wheel drive trucks actually had a higher transmission hump from the factory. So you're able to just cut out that and buy aftermarket replacement 4-wheel drive hump to clear your more modern transmissions. It'll be drive-by-wire, so I made a drive-by-wire throttle pedal mount inside for that.
Oh yeah.
It's all set up and ready to go. Of course, with it being a T56, I've converted it over to a hydraulic clutch. So you can see up in here, I've got a tilt-in clutch master cylinder fixed to my original pedal box for the truck.
Let me move over here so I can see that. Hopefully it'll focus here a little bit. Do some post-editing magic here. There we go. Yeah, that's really cool. Man, so this is a, you're not pioneering this build per se.
No,
you know,
thankfully there's been people that have already accomplished it, you know, and you're able to buy some just off-the-shelf parts in order to do it, like the motor mounts transmission cross member. There's a guy that specifically makes those for these style engine swaps in these trucks, you know, so that's cool. And then, yeah, pretty much everything else is, you know, off-the-shelf part. For a lot of it, you know, there will be some more fabrication. I'm working now on making, you know, just a shroud for dual electric fans. That's the project I've been working on most recently for it. And then I guess after that, I'm gonna go ahead and start making my intake. Run over to here. I'm just gonna buy some 4-inch aluminum pipe and weld it up.
ooh, 4-inch intake. That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm planning on making my own stainless exhaust for it as well.
Oh wow.
That'll be one of the next steps.
Yeah, and guys, you can see he's recently got into welding and has this little cool setup. Built a little table that actually flips up into the wall, kind of like those crazy old fold-out beds in those like apartments.
Trundle bed or
Trundle, yeah. Yeah, it'll like fold up against the wall so he can have more space. So it's getting into some fabrication stuff.
Absolutely,
you know,
dude. Yeah.
we're not professionals. None of
Don't claim to be at all. No.
none of our friends are, but yeah, we get by with a couple beers and a welder. You know.
Absolutely. It'll stay together. You know.
Yeah, I'll put some booger welds on it for you with my Harbor Freight welder. Actually, no, I'm sorry, not Harbor Freight. Northern Tool.
This one here is an Amazon special. So
Is it Amazon special?
Amazon special.
What are you rocking? What do you have?
HP Alpha TIG.
Whoa.
It's actually a pretty solid welder for
Whoa.
money, man. I've welded on all the big name welders in the past, you know, for Millers and Lincolns and all of that. So that one will do AC/DC, both TIG. It runs on 220. It's pretty solid unit.
My favorite part is that they use the Arlington, Texas,
A on it. That's
the A
perfect
with
for
the
me,
star, right? Yeah, perfect and fitting. Yeah, well, this thing is really cool, man, and I'm excited.
More to see on it in the future. So this is kind of phase one of the build, getting the drivetrain up and going, and then I'm going to go through and it'll be engine or suspension and brakes next. Hopefully I'll be putting it on coilovers on all 4 corners and then 4-wheel discs. I've already converted it. Originally it was 4-wheel drum brakes, so I've already swapped the front to like an original style.
Talk about confidence inspiring, huh?
Yeah, I've already swapped the front over to like an original style disc brake, but I'm going to go ahead and upgrade to, I don't know, some Millwoods or something like that.
I can't believe you don't want to leave the drums, man.
Yeah.
Let the drums beat.
And I don't think the original rear end is going to hold up to me. Very many of the old 450.
The old clutch dumps.
Clutch dumps, yeah. So
Yeah.
that'll be on the list as well after I get it going.
So
Hopefully I'll be able to get it going and cruise it up and down. Cruise it and get the bugs worked out of it now the way it is, and then.
oh, dude, imagine a nice Sunday drive over to Summit Racing.
Oh, absolutely. Right,
Yeah,
around,
just-
right around the corner, man.
Just around the corner, go over there and
Lord knows I know where it is.
oh, God, me too. Go flex on some of the guys out there with their old stuff. But do you know how much just the body of the truck itself weighs? Probably without
I weighed it with the big block in it. I actually have a note on my phone. I used to
Oh,
work at,
really?
like this feed store that had a truck scale.
The fact that you weighed it at a feed store is super fitting too, just for like an old American truck.
I think it's like 3,600 pounds or something. That was with the big block in it. So
I'm really surprised this is a 67. Like, to me, I mean, I don't know that much about American cars, but I'm also, not just completely clueless about cars in general. And this design kind of looks a bit more 50s to me than it does, 60s when we started getting to.
3,900 pounds with the big block in it.
Oh, with the big block in it.
Well, it was when the big block was in it, yeah.
Okay. So, and this is lighter motor, right?
Yeah, it should be considerably lighter.
Because the other ones.
This engine's probably like at least 100, 150 pounds lighter than that. The iron-headed big block that's over there underneath the stairs or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, I would say that it would be
probably a little bit
significantly
lighter.
lighter.
I mean, it's not gonna be a race car. I just kind of went like a fun cruiser.
No.
Is all I want out of it.
No, but at the same time, even 3,900 for a truck is really light.
Right.
So let's say, maybe 3,700.
It's crazy how much smaller like an old truck like this is compared to a modern truck too.
Yeah, you look at this thing out here. I mean, if I brought this into the garage, first of all, it would probably almost touch the garage door, and next to it, it's just massive. This is really not that big of a car. I mean, you could even pull it up more if you wanted to, but
It's
yeah.
close to the same like length and width as the Corvette, honestly, man. Around that same size.
Corvette's not a small car.
No, it's really not, right?
No, that's something I've learned from my buddy my other one that.
Yeah, he has a C5 Z06.
Yeah, he's got the red one. So that is something side note, aside from this build, I would love to get your C5 Z06 and his C5 and do, some like highway rollers or
sure, dude, yeah.
some roller shots. I think that'd be really cool.
For sure, man.
But yeah, in the meantime, we'll continue to check on the progress of this thing and see how it goes. How much longer you think you'll need?
I'm hoping by like next summer I'll be able to have it rolling. So like I said, it's like, well, before I get it all put together, I want to go ahead and do a cam swap on it. And then I still need a clutch flywheel. I got to pull the engine back out in order to put all that together. So just need those two, and then got to update the fuel system as well. So I'll have to get a new tank and pump. I mean, the direct injection has its own high pressure pump. I need a low pressure fuel system up to it. And then I'll have to get the drive shaft cut down for it. Those are the main things that I'm kind of waiting on. It'll be running a new Holley Terminator for these Gen 5 motors. I've already got all that for it as well. So is
that pretty much going to make it just like a real plug and play, kind of compatible?
And then from my understanding, I should be able to just let it do, as like the wizard, the setup wizard, it'll kind of just auto-tune itself over time. So we'll see how well that works out for it. I know a lot of people have had a lot of luck with it with their LS-based motors, but I don't know how many people are running the Terminator in their Gen 5s yet. So.
Yeah, I don't know, but it'll be really interesting to see and get some feedback on that. I'm sure.
For sure.
I'm sure that would be helpful for those guys as well too at that company. Be interesting to see. But yeah, so it's really not too far off from being completion in terms of project cars. Yeah. I mean, because a lot of these things kind of sit for 5, 6, 7, maybe who knows, even more years. Like in the case of my MR2, that thing, I've had it 6 years now, and it's sitting in the driveway. It's in far less shape than this thing is in, which is funny. But yeah, this thing is really cool, and we'll monitor the progress on it, and hopefully check back in here in a couple months and see where you're at.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll
get some highway rollers out of there. Right?
Oh yeah, that's the ultimate goal. Maybe I'll lend a wrench or two if you need.
For sure, dude.
But pretty sure you're a little bit more qualified than I am with this kind of thing. But yeah, all right. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.